surprised the faint trace of human scent left in the ruins is still discernible to them, even after all these decades.
The greater the instinct, the greater the precision.
Instinct. Our job would be a lot easier if our enemies simply acted on instinct alone. Unfortunately, they're only the pawns. But they're not the problem. The problem is whatever's controlling them from the shadows.
At least all the known cognizant Vispanes have been killed now.
I don't believe something is dead unless I've killed it myself. You're more cautious than me. Shuheng is a special case.
The Quad will protect Shuheng. Don't you worry. If the cognizant Vispanes are linked to the Cinders, you'll probably encounter them on this trip.
If you could capture one alive, I know the cryptics would find it a fascinating research specimen. We're here. This is the spot where Thor and I left last time.
You kept a connection with the depths of the Source Layer?
What?
If only one of the things from the depths manages to make it through to the surface layer, it will wreak havoc.
The Cinders is worth the risk. What's not worth the risk is heading back down to the primordial layer and the trail going cold. Many ruins like this one. We fled and left our cities to the Vispanes.
The world has never belonged to the Vispanes.
I'm only concerned with the final outcome. There haven't been any quakes in the Sky Islands for a very long time.
I'll never be complacent while the old town lies in ruins.
So what?
Being in touch with the ground has its own way of reassuring. There's only so much the astral engine can do to stabilize the surface. Everybody remembers past events, past lives, even among the mods.
Don't you think it's a bit much to be talking about the concept of homeland and Gaia?
That's not how we should be thinking about it.
I'm sorry, but just because we're defending humanity doesn't mean we should agonize over every single decision like they do. Humans are caught in an endless spiral between self-satisfaction and insatiable needs. Gongchen, humanity might have no higher mission, but we do.
I hope you haven't given this pep talk to any of the newer recruits.
This is just who I am. If there ever comes a day the Vispanes are truly eliminated from this world, then I'll tell them what the previous era was like. When they're able to hear these facts without being shaken to their core, then they'll be able to live the lives they choose. But until then, I'll continue to fail and to sacrifice.
Cycles are not for the greater good. Death is death.
We haven't experienced it ourselves, but we've seen it enough times. Zhiming in the last era, Zhu in this.
Odin.
I've never denied anyone who's one of us. We have things that we must do. I'm going.
Wu Wei, yet nothing's left undone. To prosper, or to perish. That's it! We're in trouble. All we see is empty. Stay close. Huh. How's that? Enemy ahead. Watch out. Huh. In the palm of my hand. Let's go. Chi from all directions. Convert universe. Open up to me and end the chaos. How's that? Huh. How's that? Take that! Let's go. How's that? Keep going. How's that? Enemy ahead. Watch out. Let's go. How's that? Huh. Stay calm at the very heart of emptiness. Universe, open up to me and end the chaos. All obstacles have their solution. You shouldn't have brought Thor down this deep.
You think too little of her.
This is already very close to the primordial layer.
Really? Seems you're quite familiar with Shuheng's source layer.
I've investigated it quite a few times.
You mean that girl you were talking about?
Yes.
I'm assuming you found nothing of interest. Something that completely changes its identity with each cycle. Something that can live among humankind without detection. Something that doesn't leave a single trace. If something really is the source, would it even know?
There isn't enough evidence. I mean, we can't even be sure this source exists.
It does. The Vispanes must have a source.
I hope you're right.
Going back to Thor, I must say it's a pity.
Did you want to bring her along for the experience?
Of course not. It's just that I've never seen her struggle or lack focus. If you ever ask her what's wrong, she stomps off like a moody kitten. Don't you think that's sweet? They each have their own lives. People they cherish, and people who cherish them. They're also who I need to protect.
Another fight. Will we ever see a day of peace? Let's go. How's that? Let's go. How's that? Keep going. All we see is empty. How's that?
You're not at full power. If you can't hold out, let me know.
Chi from all directions. You know that prime power has nothing to do with divine power.
You're just as stubborn as Thor. She didn't want my help either the last time she came here. It would have been fine if she were in her first era. Now there's no point in trying to be a hero.
It's good for them not to depend on us.
You think? I want them to ask for my help more. More are coming. I'll stop bothering you.
Break. Let's go. Stay close. A shifting world with fixed principles. Huh. Huh. Let's go. How's that? How's that? In the palm of my hand. All we see is empty. Enemy ahead. Watch it. How's the Chi from all directions? Converge here. Stay close. A shifting world with fixed principles. Huh. Huh. That's it! All obstacles have their solution.
Now just follow me.
Do you know where the cinders are?
Don't worry, I have a plan. Before we left, you said you'd found some snippets of information.
They were just rumors. I wouldn't put too much faith in them.
No? Gengchen, do you think I'm still the same person as before?
Nobody is ever the same person they were before.
I guess. That's not what we said on the border of New Hansa.
We didn't know the gravity of the situation back then.
Stop being so indirect all the time. We are the torch to banish the night. We are the dawn guarding humanity's light. We will not stop, and we will not rest, until our powers are spent and our access keys rust. I will be me, long after I am dust.
What made you remember all that again now?
So we can think about how much we've changed since we first wrote it. Be honest. Do you miss those times?
Everyone wishes they could go back in time to correct their past mistakes.
It's normal to feel regret the first few years after a reboot. The surface layer was already fragile back then. I'm talking about how we were back then.
We were born to modify Gaia's imperfections. You've got the past world and the past us. One of the two isn't worth pining over.
The world has never belonged to the Vispanes. Did you mean to say the world has never belonged to us?
The Vispanes still haven't been eradicated.
I didn't see this as a discussion, because I'm not looking for a definitive answer. Lots of people changed their minds during the battle at the end of the last era. So what I want to know from you, Gongchen, is how you feel now after having experienced that defeat.
My convictions haven't changed.
If it were as simple as that, you wouldn't have spent all this era in Shuham. Is that because of Zhiming and her team last era?
Yes. And in the end, they died by my hand, and Shu Hung burned before my eyes.
There was a reboot.
Either way, I'm not breaking my promise a third time.
Are you sure? Down here.